need to reach out to them and expand on that. I want to have 12 people on my site before the end of the year. My New Year's resolution will be to get 100 people. That's a good New Year's resolution if you're trying to make a show online. But me, I am a social experiment with this. I don't know where I'm going to go with Digital Bananas, but I just I think it's hard to kind of center ourselves in this crazy digital world, and we've got to figure out what we need to use with technology, how much we need to use, how much we don't need to use. Most people do not need to get a microphone like that, like this one. If you want to do really nice vocals and even if you're doing music, condenser mics are nice. You don't have to get this one. This is a Rode NT 1A. Get Audio-Technica's got $100 one, like an AT 2020 here, 4040. A good friend of mine has, and it sounds great. And his audio interface is a PreSonus Firebox. $80 one to work. Going through a USB 2.0 hub because that's the only way it works on my MacBook Pro for some stupid reason. So I got some beef with Apple, but you know, my thing is at the end of the day, this is what's great about PC. If you know how to use a PC, and I look at Apple as being kind of like more automatic when you're driving, and PC's more manual drive, like shifting. If you know how to shift, and you know how to use a computer, you know how to install antivirus software, and I mean, there's all kinds of programs for PC that don't go on Mac. And the fact of the matter is, as long as you know what you're doing, as far as if you know what you're doing under the hood of a car, in that sense, you know what you're doing when it comes to how to, like I said, do more things manually. Know when to defrag, know when to do disk cleanup. Then get a, PC is great because PCs still come with the mic input. These new MacBook Pros don't come with mic inputs, and it is stupid. It is dumb because anybody out there could get a simple microphone, like one that's not nearby me, but you could get one that just goes, it clips on. Audio-Technica has one for like $19-20 on Amazon. You clip it, and it's got a battery in it. It's got a long cable, and it just goes right into your mic input, and you can use it for stuff like this. I'm using, this big expensive one that whatever. It's probably not that big a deal because they make USB adapters that have the mic input that you can just get. But that's just kind of silly about Apple. I ended up getting an older MacBook because I still wanted FireWire input. I still wanted Ethernet. I still wanted a DVD drive. I mean, Apple makes you pay for that attachment, and I don't know. My thing is, I think everybody should be able to utilize both, and I think that's something we can do now. It's still kind of expensive, but at least with PCs, you could spend like a couple $100 versus almost $1,000 for. Well, I don't know if you get a refurbished MacBook Air. I was supposed to talk sports. Whoever's watching this probably, what the heck is this guy talking about? I wanted to get on here, and another thing about Digital Bananas is like anybody out there could come on and just talk about what they want to, and just even if it doesn't look, real clean and professional. I'm gonna turn this hot thing off back here. I don't know how many videos you guys have watched, but I always turn this video off, and it shows something really. I mean, I know that it kind of dulled down the background, but it's gonna make me. I think it's gonna make me look a little bit. I got a little bit of light coming here. It definitely makes it a little bit more dramatic, but I want to get on here and vent. I should have put Marshawn Lynch in the topic too, because I just wanted to get on here and talk about how I think it's so ridiculous that he was fined $100,000 for not wanting to talk to the media. Why don't we set their, if they don't want to talk to the media, set their contracts up where maybe they take a little less money and they don't in return for not talking to the media. Why are we using that as a way to get money from NFL players if they don't want to talk? I mean, he did talk. I mean, he was like, yeah, mumbled something inaudible. Yeah, maybe. I guess he said, yeah, 12 times. So I guess he did talk. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they find him any money for that. But I just think it's kind of silly. If a player doesn't want to talk to the media, why can't they negotiate their contracts in a way so he's not losing money from being fined because he doesn't want to talk to anybody? What was I going to go on this too? Like, I read the questions too. It's like, why there shouldn't be this many questions. Like what it's usually like how, these reporters are just thinking, like, what do I got to ask them? I'll just kind of ask them, why is your defense not doing so well? Because you're allowing them more points than you are. So what do you got to do on defense? It's like, of course, the idea of a better defense in any sport is so that you get the other players to not score as many points. I mean, I just think some of the questions are just stupid. Like one of the questions of Marshawn Lynch was it effective to keep the ball on the ground? Effective to even, I mean, any NFL team is going to try to use their offensive running game if they can. I mean, the Colts, for instance, are having a hard time because I don't know if it's on the running back. I mean, look at what Ahmad Bradshaw's been able to do with the Colts offensive line versus Trent Richardson. I mean, that's an argument to make that, it's the same offensive line, but one of them is clearly doing better than the other. And a lot of people say that Trent Richardson just, he just hesitates a little bit. So I don't know. I just feel like some of the questions from reporters are just kind of like, well, the other defense isn't doing as well because, they've got more points than the other guys. You know what I mean? It's just like, can we just come up with better questions? I would ask Trent Richardson and be like, hey, at one point I was thinking it's the offensive line. Is it the offensive line or do you just have better days than others? I mean, ask people, are you afraid to get hurt? I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's tough being a running back, but I also don't get to like work out and just concentrate on it all the time. I barely even do any push-ups. These guys have got a 100% commitment to just making sure that they are ready to, they can take those kind of freaking hits. It's crazy. I mainly came on to talk about that Marshawn Lynch. If a player doesn't want to talk, why are they in it's freedom of speech, which also includes freedom not to speak. But if his contract says he has to talk, okay. But just, I don't know. I just feel like, why is he getting fined for it? Like, why not just have a contract that says, all right, because you don't want to talk to the media, you're going to make a little bit less. I don't know. Of course, Marshawn Lynch probably be like, F that, man. That's because I don't want to talk to the media. So, I need to go get some food going. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to talk about these Pacers for a second. I need to get an assistant who can come on to Digital Bananas and help me move these videos, because every time I make these videos, I forget to go type stuff to them because people search based on words and what they're typing up. You got to tag words to your videos, and I'm just not doing a great job of doing that. It's bananas, though. The Pacers have been doing all right for their bench. I mean, I can't wait till George Hill and David West get back, because I don't know if y'all remember a game against the Portland Trail Blazers last year where George Hill and David West lit it up. I think David West had like 21 points or something, and George Hill had like 38. George Hill is capable of doing some awesome things. I mean, that's why I'm excited. I feel like there is a beast waiting on the sidelines, ready to come back, because George Hill can do a lot of stuff. I mean, I would be okay with, I know Paul George needs to get healthy. If he can come back around the playoffs, I still would think that, for the sake of not messing up any chemistry, that when George Hill and David West get back, and I know Roy Hibbert's hurt. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it's interesting to see what these guys could do without, with this bench that's been doing pretty darn good. I mean, this bench is going to be the best bench because they're playing for their starters right now. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Did you guys see that shot by Solomon Hill where he took Rod Stuckey's ball and just put it in? I mean, I never anticipated that stuff when I played basketball. Like, that stuff was just awesome. That shot, I mean, Solomon Hill, awesome job, dude. You're a beast. That's awesome anticipation of basketball. That is just props to him. Because I don't know if anybody knows that George Hill is from Indy, man. He's Indianapolis, man. He's a personal resident of this city, and he hasn't even played yet this year. Is anybody not excited? I gotta type George Hill excitement at the end of Marshawn Lynch and George Hill. There's other people that probably do a better job than me talking about sports, but this is Digital Bananas, and Digital Bananas is going to be all kinds of shades and colors and just different. I'm going to put on commercial type videos, raw stuff like this, and I'm going to be like, Digital Bananas is a sports show. Digital Bananas is a music show. I'm just basically kind of getting out there. Just like, anybody out there can make a show. You get an idea. and you put it out there. I'm just trying to be like a sample out there, like, you know, with Digital Bananas. I mean, Digital Bananas for the most part, guys, to be honest, it's gonna be all technology, geek based. But the reason I'm coming on here talking about sports is because I want to. First of all, I had to get some stuff off my chest, but it's an example of what someone else out there could do. Anybody could get in front of a camera like this. Pick a better background than this, though. This is ridiculous. This is just a basement. You can see the walls are gaff taped up. Do you see that? Yeah. Well, everyone now. This guy's just trying to get some money because he's obviously doesn't have a whole lot of money. You could do a sports show. Anybody out there, and you don't even have to get a mic like this. You can get a mic that goes straight in USB. This thing's going into an audio interface, which I'll show you when I get my camera working. But it's and all my videos are gonna be off the cuff. I don't care. But this one was main theme sports. But I will always talk about technology. I like to do music stuff. So this has 4 inputs. You really don't need 4 inputs if you're making music on your own. But that's why I kind of have, you know, a little bit extra. But most people don't need all this fancy stuff. But anybody can get in front of a microphone like this and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Kids that go through sports camps because they want to be journalists. Boom. If you don't have a Google Plus page, you're not doing what I'm doing right now on Digital Bananas, go get it. You know, put your name sports. You know, if your name's Ted Healy or something, or I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Ted Ariel or something. I don't know. Ted Ariel Sports. Johnny on the Rock Sports or something. I don't know. You know, wherever you're from. I'm from like Northeast Indy, so I could be like Northeast Indy Sports or something. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it's all going to the internet. So they're going to start doing live feeds from people's laptops. I kid you not. Webcasting. Once we're all on the web, which this is exactly why I'm doing Digital Bananas. Like, it's all here. Accept it. You know, just accept it. This is a little different than Facebook. Facebook's kind of very, you know, it's more personal. And I actually don't do a whole lot of live, and I need to, but because I want to see if you can get video chats going with multiple people. If you can get, you know, because I know on Google you can get lots of people in your Hangout. You can even do a webcast like this where anybody who knows this is going on, has the URL, can come watch me. I am probably going to have to start posting stuff through Facebook, because the idea is you have to get out there and find people. And if you've got people through Facebook that, you know, you've networked and you've got all your friends and everybody know all, this is going to be the wrong term, congregating, digitally. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of also want to do this. I ain't going to lie. I would love to be able to do this from home for a living and just like communicate with people. And I came up with Digital Bananas because I knew everything was going to be just raw with this whole thing. And I don't know where it's going to go as far as the show. Today, it was like me talking about sports or just getting something off my chest. But I don't know. I didn't want to go through Facebook at all. I wanted to network and just find people from, you know, this idea that I'm on the line. Theoretically speaking, anybody in the world should be able to. I know it's not true. I mean, only people who have internet can access this kind of digital community. But you know, I did want to make a community that came together based on technology, because it's, I don't know, it's something I think about. Not everybody needs a microphone like this, but I would suggest to people, you know, do a little bit better than the webcam mic you've got. I mean, most webcams are going to do a decent job. This one, I mean, you can see pixelization, but I mean, for crying out loud, it's just a raw video. I mean, I could, you know, put some more light somewhere, go somewhere where there's more light, but the audio, I mean, once you change the audio and get that real clear, it becomes a different story. I mean, so, but whatever. Anywho, stop this broadcast. It's ridiculous.